Mhm. Greetings, beautiful people. It's your girl, Yo, and I have my co-host, Mo Laughs MD. Welcome, everybody. Y'all come on in. I know I'm late, but black folks time. Y'all know what's going on. Hold it down, Penny. How you doing, Mo?
I'm doing good. How are you out there?
I am doing fabulous. Welcome. Y'all come on in. We got a great show for you today. We have a fantastic show, and we're going to be talking about Mo. And we're going to be talking about relationships. Should relationships be contractual? Should you have a contract when it comes to relationships? That is the question. And we're going to tell you some of the reasons I think you should have a contract when it comes to relationships. All right. Mo have a story for you, and she's going to come up with one. She's going to tell y'all one of her personal stories, and I'm too going to dig deep into my personal stuff. Okay, so come on in here and get this information. Get a pen and pencil. Right, take some notes because you're going to need them. It's going to help you. All right, Mo, let's go.
One second, please, because
Sure.
I want to make sure my undivided attention is to the front. So
Yes,
I'm making
yes,
good
yes,
eye contact. I just want to let
yes.
me pull up the chat here so I can see what's going on.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and then
Come on
so
in, people. Come
I,
on in. Stop watching from the bushes. Come on in here. Make yourself at home. Wipe your feet at the door. Come on, babies. Come on. Wipe your feet at the door. Come on into yours house. Come on. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
there we
Yeah.
are. All
Okay.
right. Okay, so the subject is should relationships be contractual?
Yes, that is the subject. Yes.
Well, You know, last night I called you,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I sent you a long thread of text messages
Yes.
that I had received from a gentleman that I was dating, I guess if that's what you want to call it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't consider this dating because I'm like,
Right.
this is what is this?
Yes.
And basically I feel like I'm being harassed at this point. I met the individual, we went out on a couple of dates.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they started getting really pushy, like they expected something from me, it seemed like they wanted sex.
On day
And
one.
on date one,
Oh,
yes,
date one. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
date
yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think I met them, and then we went out maybe 3 days later or whatever. And then um, on the first date, they were very handsy. They were very handsy
Touchy
and
feely.
touchy feely, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, baby," and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck? I just met you. What the fuck you
Right, right.
doing?"
Yeah. Right.
So I had to set some boundaries. I
Mm-hmm.
had to set boundaries for it. And look, I'm doing it again. Let me stop talking like yes and but no,
No, but you just this talking we talk like we talked on the
okay,
phone. Hey
okay.
Valerie, come on in, baby. Glad to see you. Y'all come on in. Go ahead, baby.
Hey, hey, Valerie. So I had to set some boundaries. And he's
Right.
been respecting those as far as physical, but he's
Mm-hmm.
very aggressive through text. And sometimes he's like, "Oh, baby, I want you," and all this other stuff. And I told him that I was not had time to date. I was not in a position to date financially, mentally, you
Right.
know, time wise, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seems like he wants to ignore that when I text that and act
Uh-huh.
like, oh, but I want to see you. So I was like, if you want to see me, then I need you, because I'm not ready to date financially, and I don't want to go
Right.
out looking any kind of way. So I'm like, if you
Mm-hmm.
want me to go out with you, you gonna have to sheen some cash over for my maintenance fees.
Right. So that's
Now,
how you feel about that dating thing. You feel like the man should what give you stuff to make you even more beautiful to go out on a date that he wants you to go to. You don't think that that's your responsibility to already to have your own self maintained to go out with him. You think he should pay you for that? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what I'm wondering.
I do think I am responsible for my own maintenance.
Okay.
And that's why I told him
Hmm.
that I'm not in a position to date because that's a part of it.
Hmm.
Me feeling comfortable enough to present myself out to the world
Hmm.
in a certain fashion. I don't want to literally just be going out looking raggedy or not up to
Hmm.
my standards. So, and that's a part of, oh, I'm not ready. And if you want to force me to be ready, then you need to fill in the gaps to get me ready. And that's how I took it. Now,
Uh-huh.
I didn't introduce money into the situation first, by the way.
Okay. Huh. But in a sense, you did more indirectly because if you're not in a situation to go out on a date and you feel like you have to, have yourself maintained, or you feel like if you don't have it to maintain yourself, that the gentleman that you're going on a date with should give you that financial thing so you can do your nails or your hair or whatever you need to do to get to be beautiful, to go out to represent him, or is it representing yourself as his date, even though it's the first date? You see, you kind of got to think about that a little bit. Sound a little bit off a little bit right there, right? Because he might already think that you're beautiful enough and he don't feel like you need no makeup and all of that, even though that's maybe where he caught you when he saw you, or you caught his attention. Maybe he thought you was beautiful, and you could have been just coming from the grocery store or the laundromat or wherever you coming from, and he think you beautiful just the way you are. That could be just a thing with you. You know what I'm saying? To feel like a certain way, right? You
Yes.
see? So, okay.
Well, okay. Now, in this instance, what I gave, yes, I did. It seems like I introduced money into the situation. Hey, Mario.
Hey, everybody coming in. Nice to see you. You're not late, Mario. We was late too. Thank you for coming.
Hey, Verna.
Yeah.
And look, I want to hear what Mario think about this, by the way. But okay, so on the first date with the guy,
Hmm.
he was all the sweet nothings and oh baby this and that and oh baby I'm gonna take care of you, and he's Puerto Rican too. I don't know if that makes a difference in this, is as far as cultural and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
but
Hello.
it was like baby I'm gonna take care of you, and I'm like okay do it and,
Yeah.
and he was flashing money and stuff. There was even this he put out a wad of money and was flashing it, and I
Hmm.
put it right
Uh,
in my pocketbook.
yeah.
But he introduced. I feel like he tried to purchase me. Like on our
Hmm.
first date, it was like, oh, I'm by my way in, and
Hmm.
so that triggered something in my mind to say, well, there. I don't want to say there's gold to dig, but you have set like the contract for with our relationship that it's going to be transactional. So I'm following suit with that. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. But then I'm looking at this too. If you go into a relationship and and you having a date, and on the first date, if you're receiving money from someone, of course they're going to expect a payment, and
Mm-hmm.
that man, that this particular man, payment seemed to be, I give you cash, you give me ass. That's what it sounded like to me. And my thing is, once you took that cash, he's feeling like you're reciprocating, or you're feeling the same way that he feeling. So in his mind, he has a chance. So, but in that situation, the best thing to me would have been to do was to not accept anything from him, right? Or either come up in the first part of the day when he even offered you to change, was to say straight up, "Here we go with the contract. Look, I'm not the type of woman that you can get some change to and think you can get some, whatever. You ain't, that ain't
Some
what's up."
spank.
Right. Yeah, right. So by saying that, you have to say it, but you also have to follow up with action, which would have been not take that change. And to me, it does matter, I believe, to a sense, with culture, different cultures dating, because everybody grew up in a different way. But love is universal, right? And all cultures have sex. So all of this thing is kind of like on the same wavelength. So I don't think it's a difference with that part. But could it be some men are more, some different cultures maybe be a little bit more, not forceful, but more aggressive, or feel a little bit more entitled than other countries when it comes to having relationships? I think that that's a possibility, because
Yeah.
I've known stories that, women have told me about different interactions with different males and different, culture. So, but yeah, yeah, that's something. So where you at now
Okay.
with this gentleman?
Well, I'm contemplating on ending our relationship
Hmm.
because he's just become very aggressive. And now I do see what you mean. The first interaction, me taking money from him, it wasn't like, give me some money or here's some money, baby.
Right,
It was, he called
right,
himself trying to show off.
right,
So
right.
I feel like I pulled his card, and I
Mm-hmm.
took one of them crisp $100 bills and stuck it in my brow and took it home. And,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know, and on and
yeah.
on and on.
Yeah.
But then after that, he literally made indecent proposals like, please, I'll give you $500. I'll give you $250. I'll give you. And I was so shocked. And
So
I
he, in
told
other
you,
words, trying to buy. Now he's trying to
yes.
buy it now. Okay.
But
Yeah. Well.
after the sweet talk, now is, oh, I'm straight trying to buy. So
Yeah.
in my mind, you don't care about me as a human being, because I explained to him. I said, "Do you see this?"
Uh
I
huh.
said, these headphones cost $400,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to give me $500 to sleep with me." And then I ran off the list of reasons why not. I was like, first of all, will you be able to take care of my reproductive care if
Right.
we're
If
having
you
sex?
got pregnant. Yeah. Uh huh.
That's a big thing for me now. It's like that's one of the factors that go into it, if I'm going to sleep with somebody or not. Because if I feel like they can't pay a medical bill, then hell no.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
happening. And as far as that, it triggered something in my mind, because I felt like you don't care about me as a human being, as a person, because you're trying to purchase me like an old couch, a cheap one at that, a cheap one, a cheap couch.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to literally try to bleed you dry, and then when that's done, I'm moving on.
Now,
Like,
see that's dangerous though, baby, because first of all, there's no such shit as that love is first sight. All right, when you first find out, when somebody first tell you who they are, believe it. So in this so-called, I may be calling a relationship because this is the first time meeting this person, and y'all trying to
mhm,
establish a relationship. Once you see that there are red flags in the beginning, that
mhm,
means get the hell out of it. And this is a relationship that I would advise you to step away from the relationship, period, or the so-called trying to get to know one another. And for that guy, that little dollars, a couple of dollars he gave you, that was a down payment on the his hope to be able to get lucky
mhm,
or whatever. And then I would just leave it alone. I would simply tell that gentleman, thanks, but no thanks, because in other words, whatever contract, y'all ain't have no contract agreement that this was going to be a relationship, and you can see that that's not going to work because y'all have two different ideas on what a relationship is. So I would tell him goodbye, and you're not missing nothing that you ain't never had, and neither is he. That would be my advice to you on that one. You did?
That sounds
Okay.
like sound advice.
Yeah. And so let me tell you something. Let me tell you a reason why. Hey, everybody coming in the chat. I'm glad y'all coming in. What's up, Stephen, Steven, Stephen, Sassy81? How y'all doing? Valerie, everybody coming in. Verna, y'all come on in and take a seat. We talking about relationships, y'all. And we talking about whether relationships should be contractual. Should you have a contract with relationships? Now, y'all gonna learn something here today because let me just, for y'all that don't know, I've been married for 42 years. I married my husband when I was 18 years old, and I'll be 61 next month. Okay. So I'm telling you, it is a big benefit in having a contract in a relationship. Even if you're not married, the marriage license is sort of like a contract. But even if you're not married and you're single and you are in a relationship with another person, you should straight up front get a contract with them. And anybody that don't want to get a contract with you, or they giving you hesitations about signing it, or saying this is weird or this is strange, run as fast as you can away from that person because they have other alternative motives on your relationship. Their idea is not the same as yours from the start with. So okay, so but okay, so here's a for instance mode like this. Now say you met this fella, the same one we just talked about. Let's just say this start over from the beginning. All right. You met this dude. He say, you cute, you this, you that. He won't take care of you and all of that. The first thing to do with that gentleman would have been to, after you once vetted him, of course, because you need to know who his family is and all that, blah, 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 before you even decide you want to take it any further. You want to know about his background. So you want to meet the mom, the children, his sisters and siblings. You want to go do all of that. But this is all before y'all even kiss, hug, or have sex. It could be in your mind that's what you want, but go ahead and get into this family and go visit that family and let them get to know you. You get to know that family. Because if you decide not to like marry him or just be living with him, you still gonna want to know something about that family before you start getting in too deep, right? So get to know them, all right? And if you don't want to do that, that's another red flag. So okay, you don't want to introduce to the parents and all that. It's yep, get on away from it. Get away from them, right? But if you do decide to do that, that's all cool and stuff, and he get to meet your family and all of that, right? Then y'all would sit down and y'all would have a conversation. You would tell him, and you and him would sit down and have a conversation. Well, look, especially if y'all gonna live together, gonna move, y'all want to take it a little further and y'all want to live in with each other. Okay, have a contract. Say, look, we're gonna live together. Either we're gonna live in a house or we're gonna live in an apartment, whichever it is. I'm gonna pay this month. I'm gonna pay the light bill. You responsible for the gas bill. We gonna pay half and half of the rent. Put all of that shit in a piece of paper. Take the time and write that stuff out. Put it on paper. Write it down and have that mutual agreement and that contract together. Have that contract together, right? All right. Now, then once y'all get into a relationship, y'all work that relationship and stuff out, y'all going on about your business, something come up, be like, wait a minute, baby, hold on, that one in the contract. Now, do we need to tweak the contract? Because contracts can be tweaked, right? And see, if another party want to tweak the contract, do it early. So then everybody know where we stand. We already know what our goal is in this relationship. That is, if you're not married to a person and you're just going to be boyfriend and girlfriend living in an apartment or a house or whatever with that person, make sure you have that contract. Now, even when you married or you might want to get married, two people that's in the beginning of dating, they need to have a contract too. They need to say they have a communication. Say, well, look, do you want children in a relationship in the future? Together. Do y'all we want to have a create a family? If that's so, that need to be etched in stone. This is what I want. We're gonna how much money we're gonna save for our children's college fund, and how much you're gonna be contributing, how much your job gonna contribute, how much mine is. That need to be in the contract. Okay, health insurance. If somebody's job don't have health insurance on it or something like that, contract. We go by the contract. You need to have a contract because contract eliminates arguments, problems, and things like that in a relationship. And this way, everybody will be what you call on the same page in a relationship because relationships always seem to fail when you have a misunderstanding and you have an assumption or you have an imagination conversation that y'all might have had 2 months ago. And the man said, well, I don't remember saying that. Well, you said it. We got it in the contract. You did. That's how you can keep relationships together and strong. And then I'm going to take a pause right now. But when we come back, I am going to tell you about 3 different relationships that happens in my family that went wrong. Okay, anybody got anything to say in the chat to me, Mo, or you got anything to add
Yes.
to take away?
Okay, Steph says I've been married for 28 years. Hold on, let me see.
Okay.
Yes. Steph says she's been married for 28 years.
Mhm.
Let's see. Trey says hello.
Hey, everybody.
Um,
Hey.
and then Steph says also, I advise my boys to get their own place and make sure your woman has her own place. So you can have enough time to learn her and know whether or not you want to
Yes.
marry her.
That's good
Yep.
advice. Real good advice. Real good advice. And yeah, anything else?
hmm
Okay.
Captain Wolf says, I'm in a 20 plus year marriage. And for all the folks that's not married, this is real advice. And Valerie says, good advice.
Oh, thank you very much. This is another thing what I want to tell you people that's not married and living together with a person. Okay, make sure that when y'all like say if y'all live in an apartment or a house together, okay, now we made a mistake and I've made this mistake in my life. But we was married though, but I'm saying if you're not married,
Mhm.
never put one person name, I mean two people
Oop.
name on everything. Your name don't have to be all on everything, okay? Like because you can mess up your credit. So say you boyfriend and girlfriend, y'all living together, y'all have an argument or disagreement, and the boyfriend wants to move out. His name happened to be on the apartment or either the house that you are in. You really can find somewhere to go, but it might take you a little bit of time to move out because of your finances and y'all been splitting money together and all that stuff, splitting the bills down the middle. He say, I'm leaving. He packs his stuff. He tell the landlord that he's moved out, and so he's no longer responsible. He wants his name off of the thing that's over your head. Then you will be asked out, and vice versa, man. If the woman did that, okay. Then suppose she just moved out of the place with your name on it, man, and she just moved out and still owe that, and you going somewhere else thinking you all about, you doing good and you want to get a house or something. Find out that your credit history is messed up because the woman you left behind didn't pay that overhead. So you have to be really careful about tying your name up into stuff. Too many people tying your name up. And if
hmm
you're a husband and wife living together, don't let one person name be on everything. Wife, make sure you have your name on something. If it ain't nothing but a telephone bill, if you know how you just have the house phones or something small, something like that, it's okay if the man have it over the roof. But at the same time, you have to also make sure that you're in when you on the mortgage. Make sure that you're in there too. That they'll know that this is your house. If something happened to him, that means you may have to get a will or something else that would say it will go to you or the children or whatever. But that's another. That contract is very, very important. You dig?
Yes.
Right?
You see Faith, she says happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Faith. How you doing? How you doing? She's such a beautiful girl. I just love the way she be over there modding that chat over there. Probably
Hmm.
she be gone. That thing be gone down in that chat.
I,
I
I,
can't
I
keep up
love
with
Faith
it.
Keeper.
Yeah, she be
She has a good spirit.
I love it. Yes, yeah, that's beautiful. But yeah,
Hmm.
okay, so look, I want to tell y'all this story. Look, I told you I had some stories for you, but let me tell y'all this. All right, so this is on my daddy's side. I got stories on my mama's side and my daddy's side. Okay, this one right here is on my father's side. So this was my father's first cousin, right? First cousin, which would
Hmm.
have been my second cousin, right? All right. So what happened? She was a female. This is what happened to her. All right, so she meets this man and everything, and they start living together. They won't marry. They were just living together, right? And they lived together for like almost like 25, almost 30 years. They lived together, right? So
Hmm.
not married. Okay. Well, what happened was they had four children. Four children. All right. And this man, he went to work every day and all of this stuff right there. And what happened to him is he died on the job. He worked in construction. He died on his job, accidental death, like on the job. But again, he had four children. The children was grown because the baby girl was going in college. He had her in college. So imagine them living all that time and having babies and four children. Okay. So when the husband died, the wife, she's given to go and make funeral arrangements and stuff like that. However, before she could do that, he was married before to a woman that lived in North Carolina when he was in his early teen years, early age, and he never divorced her. And then, so she lived there. He came to Virginia, and that's where they met here, right? Okay. When she heard of his death, like people told her about his death, don't you know that she got his body removed from the place where he was the funeral home before they could get him dressed, had his body removed and shipped taken to North Carolina. None of the family, all four of those children, nor that woman, which is the cousin that he was living with, they didn't know where they buried him at or nothing. They didn't even go to the funeral. He had four children. That's one incident, and that's a true story. You see, then that's in that deed. So just think
That's
about it.
horrible.
It's a true story. Now that's a true story, and that's a fact. Okay. Now, how would you feel? How you got children? These people. You see what that first wife did? We don't know. We don't know why she did that. We didn't even know he was married before. We didn't had no clue. We thought it was just them. They just ain't want to get married, and that's just how they chose to live their life. But this wife came out the woodworks, had insurance on them and everything.
Wow.
She still had insurance on this man all those years. And that's how she swooped right on down and got his body and took his ass right on up there. And none of the children could, and that's how that is with that one, right? So if that wife, if the girlfriend, my cousin, if she had had a contract, not married, but just a contract with that man, that would have not happened. That would not have happened. He would have had a will or something, and then she would have some kind of control. But that first wife walked. And let me tell you another story. Now, this is a story. This is a true story too. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. It
We
is
need to start
something.
writing these down
It's
and
a
putting
whole
them
lot
in a
of.
compilation, a book.
I can tell you a whole lot of stories. Not only from my life and for what's happened in my family, but
Hmm.
what happened in other family people that I've been all over this world. So I know a whole lot of stories. And this one, I was gonna tell you about this one. Which one was it? It was I was gonna tell you about the half brother. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. My just on my daddy's side too. My dad's grandfather had a half brother. Was a half brother, and what he did was he was living with this woman for a long time. They too had children, grown children, and so once the grown children moved out and everything, and he died, what happened was he was married before too. He married at 17. Guess what his wife did? She lived in the same state, had the police, what you call those U-Haul, the U-Haulets. They had pickup trucks and everything. They went into his house while the woman was there. They had right to do it, right to do it. They went and took everything out of that daggone house, furniture, even food out of the refrigerator. Left her with absolutely nothing. That happened. True story. True story. Yeah, I was talking to my mama this morning about it and stuff. I said, "Mama, I'm gonna tell these people what's going on." 'Cause I said, "I want to talk to these people about this contractual relationships because people think that just because you living with somebody that you are that you're supposed to be there." And I'm gonna tell you about this lady on my mama's job when my mama was working, and she had she my mama was a supervisor and worked in
Mm-hmm.
a print shop. But anyway, this lady, her name was Miss Viola. All right, she was a pretty big lady, and she was married before, and she never divorced her husband. She never divorced him, and he went on about his business. They live in a different state. She was on the job. She had a heart attack on the job, and she didn't die, but she wound up having to go out on disability, right? So her little money wasn't enough. So, but what the system did when she was looking for disability, the husband name popped up, right? So
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Now he died. And he was in the Marines, and the first wife didn't get nothing. I mean, the second wife didn't get nothing. Miss Dorothy was the first wife. How about she got his Marine or his government money, his army money? She got all of his money from the government, and she didn't get nothing. That was the first wife, but he was married to this other one. You did what I'm saying? And they have no children, but that money, see, because they follow the trail. The paper trail is your number, your social security number. When the government have you in there, if you the
Mm-hmm.
first wife of any type of relationship, you get the disability or the social security of the man. You'll get that. You get that. If you the first wife and they have benefits in the service, you will get that. If you become the second wife, you'll get a percentage, like 30%. Then it'll go down to 10%, which means you probably want to get $100 a month if you're the third wife from somebody that has something. So it's very important that you guys know what you're digging into and what you're going into. If you're going to date a military man, know if he's been married before. Run that background check and see what your benefits are. See what's going on with it, and vice versa, man. Vice versa. I'm trying to tell you, you be ass out if you don't. You dig?
Dig.
Your question.
Oh, let's see what we got. Look,
Like,
Trey said I had to put y'all on a big screen. You ladies are always on point.
oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm trying to tell you, y'all, it's really important. This is some deep, important information. And listen to this. Make sure y'all have insurance on y'all children. Keep insurance on them babies. They have cheap insurance. They got this insurance, and I named Global. Global. Have you ever heard of Global Life
Mm-mm.
Insurance?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Global Life,
Okay,
yes.
well, Global Life Insurance is really like a cheap little place, like where you can get insurance, get up to like $10,000 for your children, and that's a little small payment a month, like every 3 months or every 6 months that you pay on that. So, and I don't care if your children are healthy, I don't care if they're 10, I don't care if they're 18, I don't care if they're youngins. Put insurance on them babies, and it's not gonna kill you because that little money that you be spending on your makeup or men, your 6 pack of beer, or you go to the liquor store and get your little shot on or whatever. That little bit of money that you pay there on that insurance will cover your babies, and then you won't have to worry about family members trying to help you to bury these kids because the graves don't have old people in them alone. They got young people in them too. So don't think that you got time to put insurance on these children. And make sure when those children start getting out little jobs and stuff like that, make sure y'all teach them how to get health insurance taken out of their check so they can start being responsible to take care of their bodies and stuff so they can live a healthier life. It's all about that contract, y'all. It's all about getting them contracts and them papers together so you won't be looking dumb when stuff happens to you. Right? Okay?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
To add on with the insurance thing, I think we're dealing with life insurance. It's kind of, let's see, global life insurance got it on my boys and grandbabies. Preach, sister
That's right.
Steph.
That's right.
It's kind of an uncomfortable subject. I've
Mm-hmm.
had that come across my desk
Yes.
recently. I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend who works in insurance, and she's like, yeah, and she was asking me basically like, how much insurance do you have, in case anything happens to you for
Yeah.
your daughter?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I have some old little policy. She's like, you don't have like an
Mm-hmm.
active insurance policy on yourself? And she was like, that's the most selfish thing in the world that you can do because
Mm-hmm.
you're leaving her in debt,
Yes.
pretty much when for just
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of money you
Yes.
could literally leave her with a good
Hey,
cushion or
hey.
a good push in life, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Kev, how you doing, baby? Kevlo,
Hey, Kevlo.
listen, listen. This is really important, though. You should have insurance on them. But what I'm trying to say is, my grandmother used to say, "Don't put all your money in the ground." Now they
Hmm.
can get us real good by signing that contract and getting this big major contract of insurance for the die. You know that death insurance. You don't need all of that. Listen, a good $20,000 put somebody in the ground. That's even nice, and plus pay for the headstone. A flat headstone ain't up but $700, right?
Hmm.
And you take the rest. And that's what I was telling y'all before. You get for a man, you can get a suit. And you can get a nice suit for a man, hang it in the closet, put the plastic on it, put mothballs in it if you have to, and have it hanging up there just in case that happens. I'm saying, because for one thing for sure, y'all can prepare for baby showers and shit. Why not
Hmm.
prepare
Yep.
for death? That's one thing for sure. You're gonna be born and your ass going away from here. So you need to keep that in mind, so you won't have to you don't have to burden nobody with stuff. And I'm not saying this to try to be all make y'all feel all down and depressed. This is about life. You won't be depressed. Now, if you want to give your children more money, if you want to have more money when somebody died added to the policy so they have some change left over, that's one
Mm.
thing, right? So you don't say you have a 20, let's just say you have a $20,000 policy. Let's just say we're just gonna say it costs maybe 15,000 to put them down, even though we know it costs a little bit more. Then the 5,000 will go to the child. Okay, that's cool, right? But to put all the money in the ground is dumb. Because if you treat the person right while they're living, then you won't feel so much regret when you have to put them in the ground like you owed them a whole lot. Headstones with the great big back on it and all these praying hands and all. Look, dead is dead. A flat headstone with that name on that thing like that, and put them in the ground like that, and explain to them, I love you too. I'm gonna treat you right while you're living, so they know damn well you love them, right? Don't put all that money in the ground. That's how they get us. And with that wedding shit, all them people that's paying all this stuff for weddings and all these big weddings and all these long white dresses and tuxedos and shit, and people get married, and you see how those relationships fold up and they go
Yep.
down and hit down to the ground. Why? It's because they don't have that contract. That boyfriend and girlfriend shit living together. Get piece of paper, write that shit down. Tell the man what you want in this relationship, and then go and have a paper, another part that you can add to it for your goals in this relationship. Me and you, boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend and boyfriend. I'm gonna pay half for the mortgage. You gonna pay this. I'm gonna pay half for the car insurance. You gonna pay that. I'm gonna pay for the children's school clothes. Are you gonna do that? Put that shit down on the paper. Then when income tax time come, you don't take your money and look dumb and go spend it on bullshit. Go back to the contract and start scratching off some of them goals that y'all said that y'all was trying to accomplish. You did? That's how you live life and be comfortable for real, and don't be arguing with each other. And when you have sex, it be nice and peaceful when y'all intimate with each other. Y'all have that time. Y'all have that nice intimate time. That's because everybody happy. Everybody happy. Ain't no problems in a relationship. Ain't no problems. You did? I'm just saying. Any
Good.
questions? Any
So
questions in
the
the chat? Any questions?
the
I'm just
the, the
saying.
chat. Okay, you seen Kevlo Trey. Okay, Faith Keeper. She said
Hey,
yes, ma'am.
everybody. Yeah, I'm
So to
just saying.
recap,
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning of the relationship, you should make a common denominator and make
Damn
sure
right.
that you're going into it on the same page.
Damn right. And if the man or the woman don't want to sign no contract coming in a relationship, whether you be if y'all agree to be partners just living together or married, if they don't want to sign a paper, then y'all talk about what y'all want in the beginning. Leave them alone. That's not the one for you. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have
Okay.
problems.
Now, it seems like the situation that I posed to you earlier with the
Uh-huh.
gentleman, it seems like where I went wrong was maybe well, both of us, I had a misconception about what he was expecting out of the relationship. So
Uh-huh.
obviously, he was expecting me to be some type of fun girl.
Yeah, he
And,
wanted sex straight up off top. And he give you
and
money, you give him sex. That's what he wanted.
yeah, and in my mind, I never, I was like, well, this would be somebody, maybe I can get to know him and chill with or whatever. And if sex comes later, then that's fine. But it was never like
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it would have benefited him to go and just go ahead and get a hooker and give her a couple of dollars and do his thing and then went on about his business because he wasn't looking for no
that's what I said.
relationship, right? So he damn sure out back. I mean, I would let that nigga go straight. I don't give a damn who he is. I don't care how many dollars he got in his pocket because it's gonna be miserable. And let me tell you something else. If you in a relationship too, whether you married or single, always make time for your partner. intimate time, that one-on-one time. I can remember a time, y'all gonna trip off of this, but when my husband and I we came back, we came home to stay. You know, my husband was in the service, we traveled and stuff, and we was in Germany. When we came home from Germany, we settled here in Virginia. Okay, and we bought a house, right? We had no children. We was married for 10 years, for the whole 10 years, just me and my dude, right? Having a good time. I mean, we talk about partying, having fun. Me and my dude, right? Okay, so all right, I'm at work. Oh, I got a job, and it was at the hospital. I'm working at the hospital, right? I was a medical secretary at the Medical College of Virginia. That's where I worked at when I came home. So, and I'm on a oncology ward. That's a cancer, a medicine ward, a cancer ward. So I'm there. All right, my husband, he had a big time job, and he worked 17 miles away from where we live, right? So he had to go to work 17 miles in the morning, and I was right downtown in the heart of the city. I wasn't far from where we live. Don't you know? On in our contract, right? Our goal was to have children. We wanted two children. I wanted a boy and a girl. So I said, okay, we at home now. I ain't had no children, never been pregnant, none of that stuff. Here we are. And it's a certain, hey, women, I'm gonna have a hen party. I'm gonna tell you about how y'all can get pregnant and different things y'all need to be doing. Time for y'all to have intercourse and sex, and it'll be certain times that your body will help you, will be in your favor for you to have a baby. Okay, so I'm at work, right? And so my husband and I, we talk about that. So I knew it was my time to go and to have intercourse with my husband, but he at work. So here I'm on the phone. Look, we ain't had no cell phones then. That shit wasn't no cell phone. I was beep, 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 beep. Hey, baby, lunchtime. I can make lunchtime whenever I wanted lunchtime, right? But I had to make sure he had enough time to get from his job to the house, right? Because I ain't take no time for me to get to the house. Shit, me and my baby, we used to meet at the house. Now we used to meet right at home and meet with each other during lunchtime. Get our little swerve on with each other and stuff like that. And okay, baby, I see you in about 3 hours. 3 hours. Okay, bye, boo. He going on back to work. I going on back to work. We did that kind of stuff. You see, and even though we have children, our children, we wound up having two children later on in our, relationship. We had two children, a boy and a girl, right? And do you think that ever stopped when my children was in school and shit like that? We at work, and I don't care where we're gonna make time to spend with each other because we know when we get home, the children are gonna be there. And so we wanted to have a house to house so you can walk around buck naked and enjoy your man, and that's your man. You have to put that kind of shit in the contract. All of that helps build that relationship and helps you grow and help you be stronger. All of that stuff help you because we women get caught up dealing with the children and all that stuff, and then we be tired. We forget about the man. We all up into the children. You get, and the men, they all up out there trying to make money, and they be forgetting about how they gonna get them up the wife money and how they gonna pay bills. So they forget about the woman. We have to take the time to sit still and be careful and make sure we don't forget each other. We never stop quoting each other. You did?
Y'all was on demon time.
You're damn right. I mean, I'm trying to tell you. My mama had four children. I told my mama this morning when we was talking on the phone. I said, Mama, we ain't never knew when you and Daddy was getting down. It was four of us, two boys and two girls. And I mean, we had a house full of people. But I said, Mama, we ain't never know when y'all did. She said, you weren't supposed to do. That's what she told me this morning when I was talking to her on the phone. Yeah. But I'm just saying, yeah, you
What
have to have a contract. Yep.
when you're talking about this makes me think because in the news, Kiki Palmer's been in the news lately.
Oh, that little girl
Um,
with her ass out.
with her boyfriend. I love Kiki now. That's my
Uh-huh.
Kiki. That's my sis right there.
Uh-huh.
But recently her boyfriend came out on social media criticizing her clothing.
Yeah.
She went to Vegas to an Usher show alone, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. So what do you think about it? Do you know the details of that?
Yeah, I
Um,
heard about it. My daughter, my daughter, she a young girl. I be hearing stuff like that, and she was. But first
okay.
of all, I think both
Wait,
of them
wait.
was
You gonna
wrong.
set it up?
Yeah, you can set it up. Go ahead, show it. Yeah, go ahead,
Okay,
set it up.
so the
Okay,
situation is Kiki Palmer. She's an actress.
okay,
She's been in films like Akilah and the Bee and whatnot. She was a child star. She came up through the Nickelodeon system, and now
yeah,
she's an adult. She had been in the news previously before because she accused Trey Songz of sexual assault
uh-huh.
and intimidation. And now she had a baby with a guy. He's not really famous. He's an actor, but he's not really that famous or whatever.
Yeah,
So they have a
uh-huh,
child together, but they're not married and they live together. And
mm,
she's postpartum. I think her baby might be 6 months, if that.
uh-huh.
So she goes to Vegas. Usher. It has a residency there. She went
Mm-hmm.
to one of his shows with some friends,
Mm-hmm.
and her outfit triggered her husband, her boyfriend. He got on social media, basically said that's not becoming, and that's not a way that a mother should be presenting herself, and that's not the way that I want my family to be presented to the public. And
Yeah.
so
Uh-huh.
now you have a bunch of people with a bunch of opinions. So I
Yeah.
like to hear what you have to say.
Okay, I'm breaking it down shit real quick. Break it down inside girls. Both of them wrong. Both of them. The guy, let's start with him. He's wrong, number one, for putting that on social media. He's wrong for one putting that out there. Because you know what you're doing now is you're not only shaming her, you're drawing attention to her. Because there may have been some people that may not have even known she went to that thing. You making them, bigger than what it should be. So if you're upset about something, why would you shout it from the rooftop so everybody can hear? Why don't you just pull her to the side and get a time where you can talk to her and say, hey, look at here, you got a cell phone number or something. You could have called her any kind of way. I'm sure she had bodyguards. Anybody could have contacted her to get you on that, you can get on the phone and talk to your so-called baby mama, right? And just, tell her how you feel. But for him,
Hmm.
if he was smart, he wouldn't have done that. Why he would wait till she got home. He wouldn't even try to contact her while she in the streets because that still could have been a thing. He should have waited till the right time to be able to talk to her. That's number one. Number two, how was she dressed when you first ran into her and met her? If she had an ass out then and you was attracted to it, do you think she's supposed to change having her ass out now because she don't had a baby coming out her ass? See? So if she was already dressing that way, you can't change nobody. You knew what you was getting when you went that way. You did? So that's something that you shouldn't be upset about. Now, let's talk about what the good thing that he said. The good thing he said is he don't want his family to be represented like that. Well, is that really true? Is that really true? Because if it was, that should have been a given in the beginning of y'all contract, something that y'all didn't have. Now, moving to Missy. Okay, you just had a baby and you out there like that. All right. Now, I can understand how women feel after they had a baby and all that stuff like that. You want to feel beautiful and all of that. But most women wants to feel beautiful around the person that they love, the person that has their heart, the person that they're trying to impress. Now, them niggas in the street or in that club or wherever you was, it won't nobody out there that you should have been trying to impress by showing your ass. So that tells me that you have underlying, you're very immature and you have a lot of insecurities that you're not being honest with. And there's nowhere in the hell that you're in love with that man, your baby daddy. You may have been in lust with him, you may care for him, but you can't be in love with him because if you were in love with him, you would respect how he would feel if you went out there like that in your total nakedness to show someone else his prize, his present that he received, that you gave him the honor of having, which is that precious baby. Speaking of the baby, this internet thing goes on and on to the break of dawn, don't it? This internet thing right here. That baby will grow up regardless whether it's a male child or a female child, they will see their mama. They will see comments and stuff about what they're saying about their mama. And see, mama, you have to represent yourself accordingly. When you are a mature person and when you have a baby and you start having a baby, it's time to not to be selfish and thinking about how you feel. It's time for you to think about how your your child, your seed is gonna feel. So you don't want to put them in no type of way where they'll be ashamed of you. You want to be an example, right? So you mean to tell me you can wear them clothes like that, and you would advise your son when he get older to wear if you had two women to choose from, would you choose what would you want to choose? A woman with her ass hanging out, or a woman that's dressed conservative? I'm sure you wouldn't want that for your son. See, so we have to start thinking about these different things like that. And they wouldn't be in this situation at all if they had a contract in the very beginning between one another. They wouldn't be in this situation at all. And keep other people out of your personal shit. That's whether you're married or single. Keep mama, daddy, sister, brother, girlfriend, all them folks out of your shit. Because why? They are not included in the contract. Okay, go ahead. Any
Let's
more
see.
questions?
Mario said he should have never did this in public. Kiki is wrong because you not only represent yourself in a relationship, but you represent your significant other.
Well, she don't
I
feel like he's a significant other. Two wrongs don't make a right. She evidently don't feel like he's a significant other. He's just another nigga that she had a baby with that she care about. Is That's all it is. That is all it is. Because my
okay,
thing is to take down the sign. If you're not a whore or don't dress like one, if you want or don't want unwanted attention, don't dress that way. You understand? That's how I look at it. Yeah.
okay. Well, my opinion,
Okay.
um, and I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. My opinion on the
Mhm.
situation is, and I'm trying to look at this as a general thing because I think I know too much about Kiki Palmer to be completely objective.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
but if I'm looking at it and I don't know anything about this girl or anything about the guy,
Mhm.
um, it's what you said, taking down the sign, because if anybody's familiar with Kiki, she doesn't have a history of bad behavior or promiscuousness or anything of that nature.
Mhm.
But this might be my first time seeing her and I'm seeing her ass out. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it that way.
Mhm.
Number one, I think the guy is valid in his feelings.
Mhm.
I think the way he went about putting that across was totally wrong. And
Yeah.
that's some stuff that's a red flag.
Mhm.
Internet baby is a red flag to me. Because I don't want every time there's trouble in paradise for you to go running
Tell the
to the
world.
internet.
Yeah.
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 So, but I don't think his feelings are invalid at all. However, I found this a lot with younger guys these days. They seem to want the old school benefits, rewards, and values of what a man is to receive from his woman, whether it be his wife or significant other,
Uh-huh.
um, without providing those same what would you call it? And without doing the work, pretty much. So
That
you
what you
want
think,
her.
Dan?
I do think that they
Hmm.
want a woman who is, they want a subservient woman. They want someone who's gonna take care of home and uplift them, support them. Those are normal things. But they don't provide the things that a man is traditionally supposed to provide for a woman to heal to him and adhere to him. It's
Yeah.
almost like
Uh,
you want to be equal in certain aspects, but then when it comes to playtime and responsibilities, there you it's like, oh nope, you the wife. Mm-mm. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. You just, but there are men out here that do it. You just ain't found the right one.
Well, I know that it's never
With that, I'm
all.
talking about.
It's never
I'm talking
all.
about.
It's never all. But
Yeah.
this is my opinion. This is my opinion. This is
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. I got
It,
you.
it's
I
it's
got
never
you.
it's never all. So I'm looking
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
guy here, and he is yelling from the rooftops, "Take that off! You look like a whore. Don't represent our family like that." But meanwhile, he's at home sitting on the couch eating Cheetos and playing video games while she's out working, and all this, that, and the third. So I feel like her dressing like that is a call out for help, even if it's subconsciously. She's either trying to make him
Yeah.
mad or she wants his attention. She wants him to pay attention to him. But I don't think it just seems like it's a thing where the guy is demanding something but not wanting to give
Yeah.
what it takes to receive that in return.
Mhm.
And the part about her going to the concert and all that, to me, this it sounds like this relationship was already spiraling out of control. We're just
Yeah.
seeing the
Yeah. Because
effects of
it's
it
some cat and that
because
dog all day long. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is she doing? She just had a baby, and I know
Yeah.
she has to work. So what is she doing? Flying, I don't know, to another state to see for a concert to see Usher, and then that's just it's all wrong. I feel like there's
Yeah.
more
It
to
is.
it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
more
more to
to
it.
this,
It is. It
but from what
is.
we can see, I definitely think she disrespected him purposely,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like this should be a wake up call to him. Either get out of there because she don't respect you, or listen to her crying out for help and see what
Mm-hmm.
y'all need to do to adjust. And seems like
Mm-hmm.
if they had a contract like what you were saying, and things were clearly laid out, then they would each know their roles,
Mm-hmm.
and there wouldn't be so many overstepping the boundaries and disrespect going on in the situation.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, it's something. It's a lot going on, and and by him being at home, see, and we really never know what's going on in nobody's relationship. We only know what they put out to us, right? Because it's
Uh-huh.
deeper than that. Because you got a lot of mamas that stay at home and watch the children eat bonbons. So it's both. It's something going on in there that's bigger than what we know. It's just that it went to a tipping point where both of them want attention, and both of them want to be right fighters, and both of them want to say,
Mm-hmm.
you wrong, and we the public are caught in the middle of that. That's why it's good to mind your own black business and do what you got to do and keep other people out of your relationships and honor your contracts and stuff and move forward in that way instead of worrying about somebody else's stuff. Because again, they can get together and put them when them two heads get on one pillow. When Kiki and that nigga head get on one pillow, they're gonna forget all about what y'all comments is. They're gonna forget all about what they argued about, and they're gonna be in love with one another or whatever they have once again by themselves. That's why it's good not to get into nobody else's stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, but the main thing is everybody, if they had a contract saying this is what I'm gonna be doing, this is gonna be my responsibility after we had the kid, all these different things, they had it in writing and had an agreement with that, then they would be okay with it. It wouldn't have been a problem. Yeah. So anything else? Anybody else? I'm just
Also, I want to add to that.
okay.
And to me, this is the part where I kind of I'm giving him the little side eye. Um,
Uh-huh.
Also, she's a public figure,
Mm-hmm.
and we know her more than we know him. I don't know him at all.
Yeah.
So when you come and speak out on the internet, I know that's your girlfriend at home, but to the
Mm-hmm.
public, this is a public figure. This is Kiki Palmer. So
Yeah.
when you come out doing things, you're damaging the brand.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yeah.
hurting business. So it's kind of counterproductive. I feel like he did that out of emotion.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
that's another red flag for me. I don't,
Mm. But
but
speaking of emotion, do you think that this could have been a promotion? Even though I know Kiko is a big time star, but could this have been a thing that they were probably making a play to make you guys start talking about her again or making her more popular, even though she is a popular figure? Could it be that? You never know what the whole motive is. But I do know this. Kiki wouldn't have wanted her man to walk around slinging his whatchamacallit all over the place if it said it was Beyonce. He wouldn't want her to be doing all of that in a a loose fitted where you can see his genitalia. You wouldn't want that. So basically, do unto others you had them do unto you. And getting back to her, I saw that video when she turned around for that guy Usher. I know body language and I know people and I know that I know that I know. I know that they have either been close to being intimate or have already been there. He did that. And I know he's good star and I know
allegedly.
that's in that's what okay, I gotta say allegedly, even though that's what my spirit tell me, that's my
Hmm.
opinion. Okay, allegedly, I guess I'm supposed to say it on here. Okay, my bad, allegedly. But look at here. I don't seen that moon come up more than one time and the sunset more than one time. And you cannot your eyes, you ain't gonna tell me not to believe my lying eyes. And I see what I see. And I saw that somebody is mighty familiar. Mighty familiar. But go ahead.
You go.
Well, I'm just saying, hey, Pink Pink, how you doing, baby? Yeah, I'm just saying that's how I feel about it because I mean, but again, I mean, no one knows but them. But the point is, that's a bunch of bullshit, and there's a whole lot of unhappy people running around trying to be happy, and faking the funk is what I'm trying to say.
And I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt what you're saying, Miss Yo, because
Yeah.
like I think allegedly, I think in my opinion, she was upset and that was her trying to make him mad. So
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if she ran to an ex, trying to
Yeah.
make her
Yeah. Oh,
dude
yeah. Well,
mad.
let's be real. What do women do when they get upset with a man at home or something? They do things to make them jealous. They do things, little boo. You know how we do. We really emotional creatures. We do all kinds of stuff to make a man jealous and get their attention. But do it make it right? No. And what you have to consider is those children. So it's not all about you when you have children brought into the equation. Regardless of how
Hmm.
fool you act, you still have to consider them children. I don't care what you do. Yeah. Yeah. So.
So what would be your advice for both of them separately? Now, after this is done, so what would you tell him? Well, you need to do this, or and tell her what she also should do.
Well, I would tell since they have a child involved, I would tell them to try to stick and stay and try to make things work and get. I would tell them get together and sit down and Write out what you want from her. Write a contract. Get a
Mm-hmm.
contract together. Let her know what you will and will not take, and what you will accept and will not accept in a relationship, and vice versa. I'm talking about break it all the way down, even down with her job and and if she wants you to get a job, you need to make some move, dude. I mean, let's talk about it. You need to talk about all of this really before the baby came here. And I would have told him what I told y'all, that he was wrong and she was wrong, and I would have told them the reasons, just like I told y'all why they were wrong, right? I
Right.
would have told them the exact same thing. And I would tell them too, don't go through the headache and trouble of trying to make it work if y'all have no intentions of trying to do that. Because sometimes people get off to a bad start in a relationship, and they can't see that stuff no further. So they spiral out of control and the relationship don't work. So they first have to ask themselves, do they really want this relationship to work? Don't think about the baby right now. Just ask them as just two people without the baby in the middle, and just sit down and
Mm-hmm.
talk to themselves and ask and see, do we really want to try to make this work? And then if the answer is yes, that's when I would get them together and get them to talk about the things that they want, get it all written down and agree to it, come to agreement, and then they can make it work. But if not, and you want to go your way, now will be the perfect time for him to go his way and you to go yours. And he still could be that father to that baby, and you can still be the mother. And there's ways that you can handle that where they can be able to see him, like, give him the rights to see him and all of that stuff. You don't have to keep him away from the child. But if y'all not gonna work, get the hell out there early, because if you don't, you're gonna mess up that baby. Go ahead with all that arguing and shit. Let you know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree with what you're saying.
yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. I do.
Okay.
And look, Kiki, my girl. I love Kiki. She my
Uh huh.
spirit animal, but she was wrong. I can admit that that was
Yeah.
wrong. The guy,
But you
he just kind
grow.
of left a bad taste in my mouth. And
Mm-hmm.
but you know, but I think
Yeah.
that's good advice what you're saying about if you're gonna be together and find
Yeah.
a clear path to make that work. If not, you
Mm-hmm.
go on, and don't
Yeah.
mess up the baby.
Right. And y'all have to realize this too. In relationships, I don't care. In any relationship, whether it be business relationships, sexual relationship, marital relationships, whatever, you're gonna have some hiccups. You're gonna have some disagreements. Everybody is not gonna think the same. They're gonna have problems.
Hmm.
But the key to it is being able to sit down and iron those disagreements out in a fashion that you're not arguing with one another, where you can both hear each other out, hear each side out, right? And then if you can't, then don't sit down at the table. Go separate and get some room and all that. Set up a date and time that y'all gonna revisit the contract or whatever. But everybody need a contract in the relationship, because you under contract. The government got a contract with you. Everything that we do, we under contract with everything that we do in this life. So why not have it with your mate, your family?
How do you break the ice? Because that's kind of uncomfortable. It can be,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what's going on. How do you break the ice and like literally sit down with a piece of paper and say we need to come up with terms of engagement? How do you do that?
Well, basically, you just tell a person, look, all right, hey, I'm into you, you into me. And I'm talking about people that haven't grew up together, because my husband and I were different. We talked about what we wanted when we was teenagers and called ourselves boyfriend and girlfriend, even though we weren't having sex. We sitting on a picnic table in my backyard. Where my husband will come over in the backyard, and we'll sit on the picnic table and we'll talk about everything. He'll come from his job, Russell Steakhouse. I worked at the Dairy Queen, and then plus we worked on my daddy's business, taking, deconstructing houses, taking things, knocking down walls and shit. He worked doing that. My daddy hired all the boys in the neighborhood and paid them, along with my brothers and me, driving the tandem truck, right? So I'm right out there with him. So all of our dreams and stuff, we talked about that stuff early. So when we decided to get married, he went off to the service and all that, and he came out of basic training and stuff like that. We decided to get married. I already knew what he wanted. We already had our contracts written right here. We already knew what we was gonna do, right?
Hmm.
So, and if you're just coming into a relationship with a person, you just meeting a person, if you really feeling that vibe and you feeling them and he feeling you, there's nothing wrong with saying, look, I'm really feeling you and stuff like that. You said, but look, it's some things in life that I want, and I'm sure there's a lot of things in life you want. So and if you want to work with me, how about we play this game? How about you take a piece of paper and you write down everything that you want from me, or that you expect out of this relationship from me, and I'll do the same. And maybe in a week we'll bring that paper together and we'll sit there over dinner and let's go over it. You did? You see how smooth that was? right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just see where they're coming from. He can see where you coming from. So okay, all right, and y'all can add something that opens the conversation. See you, and that's another thing. That was another daggone live stream I was gonna make about this. You do not have to have sex to be intimate with someone. Now that right there is a start of foreplay in a relationship because you digging deep into what they thinking in their thought processes. You getting into their minds. See? And you know sex is in the mind anyway. Well, so y'all have these two pieces of paper and y'all come together and then y'all go over it. And then y'all can say, well, okay, how about we're gonna live together? This is what we're gonna pay. Because if people worry about finances when they start, that's why they have partners in relationships. When you have a boyfriend and girlfriend not married, living in the household together, it's because 9 times out of 10, one person can't take on all them bills by themselves with their little 10-cent job they have. I don't care if you have a college degree. I do not care if you have a license, where it's a trade license. You're not going to be able to take care of all of that by yourself. Not as a black man and not as a black woman. You're going to need something to carry you up. And I ain't talking about the food stamps, or if you someone might need food stamps, government assistance, or disability, SSI. They're going to need something. So if you know you're gonna need that assistance, get together, talk to each other, and work as partners. That's all you got to do, and try it. Even if you don't do a month to month lease with the person when you first start, see how it works. You don't have to sign a whole year contract on no apartment complex. Just do a month to month. Do a month to month, and if y'all don't get along, you can go back to your mom house and you can go back to his. You know, but that's what I would do, right?
Yes, what you're saying, that sounds like a smooth way to do it. I just
Yeah,
know that these are uncomfortable conversations, and
yeah,
but these are things that if you are comfortable enough to open your legs to somebody or stick whatever into somebody, you should be comfortable enough to have a conversation about a piece of paper.
exactly. That's a good. Now that's a good point. If you comfortable enough to open your legs for them, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point, Mo. Good point. Yeah.
Yes, and this
Mm-hmm.
made me think of a idea I had. It was called relationship insurance, and
Uh,
basically, it was I guess when you get into a relationship,
mm-hmm.
you pay a policy just like a regular policy. And what you were talking about with those three examples that you gave about
Uh-huh.
the
Mm-hmm.
first wives swooping in and taking the inheritance and
Oh
whatnot
yes.
of the deceased,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think something like that would kind of counteract that, as well
I should
as
tell
like,
you. Shh.
well, it's already out there
Yeah, because
kind
that's a
of,
good one. That's a good
but
one, Mo. That's a money maker right there. That is straight up. That's a straight up money maker. Uh-huh. That's a good one.
yeah, I want
I
to. Now
love
I
that.
want to go back to. I know you about to wrap this up
No,
probably.
no, because I was gonna say
Look,
something too. Don't let me
oh,
forget
go ahead,
about.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
No,
go
don't let
ahead.
me forget. No, no, because I don't want you to forget either. So
I'm
look,
not.
y'all think about this. Think about this. Our people, our native people, we're native to this land. We're indigenous people to this land. For those of you that do not know, and
Hmm.
centuries and centuries ago, we walked around this land with little to no clothes on. We only had like tea leaves and things like that. We really didn't have a whole lot of clothes on us, right? Women and men. We walked around, children, women, and men in our nakedness, right? Okay. Then, as centuries went forward, let's go to the late 1800s and in the early 1900s. Then we had women walking around with their long skirts on that go above the ankle. Just remember, you want a little knot at your ankle. The skirt came about like 2 inches up from the ankle. That's how long they wore their skirts, right? And back then women had 10, 15 children, because I got family members that had grandmamas and great grandmas had 10 children. Each one of them had 10 children and all of that. Had a whole bunch of children, but they weren't showing that ass. Okay, moving forward to the 2000s, right? Now we're moving up into the 2000s. We don't came out the 1900s. We up in the mid 2000s because we're 2023, right? Now we back at showing our ass. I'm talking about the women now. I'm talking about the women. Okay, and so we showing all of this. Now we naked again. Now, how did we get here? That's number one. How did we get here? I'm going to tell you how we got here real quick. We got here because we have been sexualized. They sexualize us and they commercialize us and put us out here and they're selling us. We are walking billboards. See, they're branding us as being these sexual, these sexual deviants. And so they branding us women to do that. Black women, white women, all women are being sexualized when it comes to the hair and when it comes to the makeup and when it comes to the thongs and the bathing suits. Everything is out there. Comes to the strip clubs, men throwing money at you. All of this is out there now. Okay, that's what they're doing to us. Why aren't they doing it to the men? Let me tell you why, and then I'm gonna let Mo go, and then we're gonna go. They're not doing it to the men. They're doing it because the men make the most money in this world. The men run the world with the power, with the money. So they are using us to get our men to spend money on us. You did? So that's what they're doing. They're using us to make our men spend money on supposedly on us, but the money that we're spending on us is really going back to them. Let me say that again. They're
That's the get
using
you gotcha.
us. You got it? They're
Go.
using us women, all women, they're using us for our men to spend money on us because men have the money in the world. They make the most money. They make more than the women. Most men do. We talk about all men that they make the most money. They're getting the men to throw the money on us, right? By strip clubs and buying us all the stuff, the clothes, the hair, weaves. We getting the money from the men. Okay, we getting it. You just said the man need to fill up gas tank. You need to give you. You get it? That's what we're doing.
Yep.
And what we're doing with that same money is giving it back to them, the same people that's doing the advertising. You get it?
Yep.
So that's why we women need to be smarter. We need to be real. We need to be smarter. We need to know how to grow our own damn food, to make our own clothes, to do our own hair. We need to go back to the thing that we know that we know that we know, so our men can make the money to build up his kingdom, which is you, woman, you children, in his home. That's what we need to do. And we need to stop thinking about all of this artificial bullshit. Because whether your dress be down to your knees, I know for a fact a man will want you even more versus the one that got that skirt up that ass where they can already see what they're going to get. Take down the sign, ladies. If you're not a whore, don't dress like one. Go ahead.
Okay, based off of what you just said, I
Mm-hmm.
have the same
Hey,
line of
man.
thinking, but it's tweaked a little. So I want
Okay.
to add it. It's not to
Okay.
combat it, it's to add
Okay.
in.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I think I remember a time when I realized what makes the world go round. Because they always say it's money, but I don't believe that. I think the a man's pursuit of a woman is what makes the world go round. Because it's like literal science. You know what I mean? Because you want to reproduce and populate the
Mm-hmm.
earth. So I think that is what makes the world go round. And I feel like that's something a lot of women don't realize as far as your value or
Mm-hmm.
your worth
Mm-hmm.
or the way that Mr. Blue Eyes, you call
Yeah,
him,
old Mr.
or
Blue Eyes.
or the way that Mr. Blue Eyes likes to use that, but they want to keep us in the dark about it, but they'll use it at every turn, like you said, to get men to spend money. So
Uh-huh.
I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Hmm.
And I definitely think
But I
that's
do
it.
disagree with you though more with this because men don't rule the world. Women do. Because women are whispering in the man's ear. Women is the white women, black women, we whisper in our man's ear to tell him what we want. We tell them and they work for us. They do their best to make sure that they got a happy wife, a happy life. Where you think them sayings come from? See, and we are the ones that run the world because we tell them we cause our wars too. We get in their ears and say, "Oh yeah, that country did this or this person did that." For these big
That's
power
true.
makers and lawmakers, these women running our face, and the men listen to them women. And some of them women are not very wise when it comes to talking to the men, but women are very manipulative. Women can make mountains move. Look at the so-called allegory story in the Bible when Adam and Eve were in the garden, and Eve convinced Adam to bite the apple. Is that a story or
It's
is it
proof.
true? You see, it's never a why without a because. Women rule this world. Don't get it twisted. Even though the men, we
You
let them go ahead and we let them go ahead and say, because I do this for my husband. I talk to him. He might say, if I say something say I want something, and he be like, oh, I ain't got no, but we don't need all of that. We don't need a. And I get that little power, and I be like, okay, then whatever. All right, okay, all right, cool, whatever. And then he might want something. I'll be like, well, I still was thinking about so and so and so. Oh, next thing I know, I don't say no more about it because I don't want to start no problems. So I'll be like, he don't want to do it. But I be saying in my mind, oh, I'm gonna get what I want, whether you like it. And I'm definitely gonna get it. Next thing I know, I got what I want. Women have a way of doing that, getting what they want from a man. But the men can get what they want from a woman too if they play that cards right. It's all about partnership. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, women do rule the world because they running their mouth in the men's ear, and some of the men are really listening to their counsel. You know? Yeah.
You just
What you
wanted to disagree with me on something. I didn't say
No,
that. You said I disagree with you. Women rule the world.
no,
I
no.
didn't
You
say that. I said that's what makes
no.
the world go round.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's what
didn't
I'm trying to say.
say
That's what I mean. I meant to
I
say
didn't say
they make the
men.
world go
Yeah,
round.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
meant
I
to
didn't
say,
say.
yeah. Sorry about that, but I meant to say that
See, look
women.
at you.
I'm no. I'm just no, no. I was just thinking because I was thinking women make the world go round. They really do. They really do. I mean, but I'm saying, but I'm talking about. But here's a different thing too. Men can work in the world because I'm saying they do that work and they have that muscle where they do in the building and all of that kind of stuff and the
Mhm.
structure. But for the foresight, I'm thinking, and it's better when they work together. Both of them have qualities, but I still think that women have a little bit more of a toehold when it comes to ruling the world because think about who owns this world. Think about who runs this world pretty much. Think about the color of the persons or what we perceive that 1% or whatever. Think about that. They are talking to them wives. Just like when they go to the office and have they be at work, they have a business meeting. They come home and discuss stuff with the women. My husband discuss stuff with me. So we still and we had put our input in. They consider that and they take it back to the boardroom. So in a sense, women do rule the world. That's the sense that I'm trying to use to say. You know what I mean?
We
But yeah,
saying the same thing.
yeah, we saying the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Matt. Yeah. But so anybody have any more questions about this? Because y'all know I don't stay on here long, and I just wanted to come in here and talk about that. About everything being contractual. Oh yeah, and I also want y'all to make sure, like I said, make sure that if you had anybody in the service, I really want y'all to go and check out if they had any wives before you or husbands before you. Know what your benefits and stuff are when it comes to when you get into that relationship, know your partner in that sense. When you know if they have any properties or any hidden babies or any mishaps or even mistresses. And another thing, speaking of mistresses, back in those days, them side bitches, they used to be to the side for sure. You got some real outward side bitches now, and that's a damn shame. I'm just saying. I just wanted to add that in there. I just felt like it.
Stop. Pause. Commercial.
Hey,
You know I'm finna put you
hey,
on the
Lovelace,
spot,
you ain't
girl.
never be. What'd you say, Paul? You said pause because what?
Look, I said Lovelace, no, I'm finna put her on the spot.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Oh,
hey
Lovelace in
Deputy.
here. Yeah,
Hey
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh,
But I just want y'all
yay.
to know. I
Come
just
up
wanted
here
y'all
and
to
say
talk.
something.
Huh? Did you say,
Tell
baby?
Love Lacey to come up here, Miss Yo. Can you
Lovelace,
talk?
Lovelace, you want to come up here? Where you been hiding at? What's she doing hiding? I'm gonna drop the link, Lovelace. You want to come up here and say, hey, we missed you over here. Where you been, gal? Hold on, I'm gonna drop the link. Hang on one second, babe. I'm doing it now. I ain't talking to you, Penny. My Penny girl think I'm talking to her. She moving all
She's like,
around.
huh? She's like, I
You want
just
to
got
come?
back.
You want to come up here and say, "Hey, Lovelace"? If you don't, I understand. You don't have to. You want to just say yes or no, and I'll know where to drop the link.
You
I'll
right.
drop the link. She said, "What she say? If you, it don't matter if you do. You can come up and say, hey. If not, I can dig it. Ain't no biggie. I would just acknowledge you and say, hey, hi, where you been? Where you been? Okay, I'm just gonna drop it just in case you do. Anybody else can take the link too if they want to have any questions or something from me because I am going to wrap this up. We had a nice lengthy live stream because y'all haven't seen me in a minute, and I wanted to make sure I come on here and say hey to the people and drop this thing to let y'all know y'all better get your stuff together when it comes to your little partnerships, especially if you want to have a nice, healthy relationship. Start talking to your partner, start building, get that contract out so it won't be no misunderstandings and no mishaps. And that's the data on that. That's how you have a long lasting relationship without any problems and misunderstandings. And again, don't forget, all contracts can be null and void, so you're not obligated. They can be tweaked too, so it can be changed at any given time. So anyway,
Mhm.
and the sooner you tell that person that, she said, sure thing, sis, she coming. As sure as you tell the person that, you be good to go. So Lovelace gonna come up, y'all. Let's welcome Lovelace. I haven't seen her in a minute. I don't know. I
Let's
ain't
give a
seen her in
warm
a minute.
welcome to
What's going
Lovelace.
on?
Look, Matt said everybody great granddaddy got three different families, and Dipple D said
Yes,
salute, but not
yes,
mine, not
yes.
my
Everybody
pappy.
got some.
I know that's
And
right.
and look,
Not
and
my
back in the
pappy.
day, the milkman back in the early 70s and 80s, the milkman was the man dropping all them babies. And I know the next door neighbor that we raised up. Mr. Jones, and our very next door neighbor as a child, he had 10 children, and he was a mailman, not a milkman. He was a mailman. Yeah. So yeah, it's like that. Okay, I
Okay.
dropped the link. I dropped the link. What happened? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened?
What's wrong?
Oh, it looked like I got kicked out on did something. Let me see. I'm gonna see. I gotta
You're
tap
still
this thing.
here.
Can you see me?
Hmm.
Did I ever go off? Did
No.
you ever? I went off the screen. I couldn't see nothing. It was black. All right, Lovelace, don't be all day. Don't be midnight. I'm giving to drop this link one more time, girl. Come on here. Don't
Oh,
mess up
Matt,
my don't be
don't be
messing up
like
my
that.
live stream being taking your time. Come on here, Missy.
Matt, stop harassing folks in this chat, boy.
Who, Matt? Is Matt harassing
uh,
you? Uh-huh.
he
And Matt,
look,
what you
he
been
up here
doing?
being snarky.
He's
I
showing
meant that
off.
in jest. It's okay, Dimple. I got him. I got him. You let me
He's
have him.
showing
I
off.
got
Dibba did get him straight too. She'll get him straight up in that chat. Get him straight. Oh, there you go. There go Matt. Hey, Matt, you showing off. I told Lovelace to come up here. You come up here showing off. Hey, Matt.
So, ladies,
What you up to?
Hello.
trouble, looking for trouble.
Matt, I ain't
Uh-oh.
seen your face in a long time, man. I want to see your little cartoon character, your little cartoon. She said, my sign is messing up. Oh, she messing up. I'm going to try to do it again, Lovelace, see if it'll do.
Oh, she said
I'm
her
going to try.
signal's bad.
Oh, her signal's bad. Oh, that's what she
Hmm.
said.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had a couple minutes to spare before I got to go pick my little boy up. But
okay.
it's
So
good.
what's
It's
going
good
on?
seeing you too. It's good seeing you too.
It's
Yeah, we
good
came
seeing
up here,
you.
started running our mouth, had a conversation yesterday, and she was talking about it. She was like, Miss Joe, that'd be good for a good laugh. I said, okay, let's do it. So that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything going good on over your side, Matt, over at
So
your
so
house?
far so good. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Still
got all this
still
stuff on
still
fancy.
not sleeping ever, and you
Why
know,
you ain't sleeping?
7 kids. Man.
Look, put them in the bed, make one of them go down the other end, put pallets on the floor and stuff. Yeah, put pallets on the floor, feed them some feed them some white beans, stewed tomatoes, and some good butter biscuits. Feed them that heavy meal, and then give them a
Shit.
little cup of iced tea, use honey, no sugar, and let them drink that, give them nice hot bath
Shit.
at night, let them take that little shower, and then make them lay it down. Put some good
Finna,
smells in the house and let them
finna,
go on all night
finna
night.
start cooking and adding weed into everything or something. I don't know what I'm.
Who don't? He's just playing,
Oh,
right?
you
Hey,
know,
hold up, Matt.
allegedly,
You know them people are
Nope,
mandated
not
reporters.
playing. I might even
allegedly,
blow it in their face.
uh, allegedly.
Nope, there's no allegedly, everybody.
Ooh, and you know, man, I don't have that fair use
You in
sign up here.
character.
Yeah, I need to
Matt
figure
is
out how
in
to do that.
character, y'all.
Yeah.
Matt
Oh,
in
Matt.
character.
Oh, man, I want you to do something for me, Matt. Look, this will be an idea. And somebody, I know somebody gonna take it, but I don't give a damn. So my birthday is August the 7th. It's on a Monday, and I wanted you to make that birthday thing I told you to make. Remember? Remember we talked about this birthday thing? Remember that in the back? Right. Do I like you don't know what I'm talking about?
He
Is
playing
he
the Yankee
froze too?
thing. No, he's playing.
Matt, he don't went dark. He don't went black on it. It don't look like he there.
Okay.
Matt, he might not be there. Some must have went. But I'm gonna get you though, Matt. Either way, I'm gonna get you. Hey, so Lovelace, can you take it? What you said? That was her signal. She said, she just left. She just left a meeting. Oh, that's right. She just left a meeting earlier. Oh, here go Matt. He coming back. I, this little boy right here.
I don't
Matt,
know.
what happened?
I'm here like twice or something. What's going on? Okay.
Oh, okay, you got it back.
Weird. I
Okay,
don't. Yeah.
you just dropped down all of a sudden. So what you was? So remember when I told you, Matt? Remember when I was telling you about the birthday thing?
I do. I do.
Okay, so I want you to get on that. Since you got all this fancy operation and stuff now, and you done got all big shot and stuff, I want you to do that for me.
Well, I
And
mean,
you
you
don't have to.
know.
I'm gonna harass you until you do what I ask you to do. You know me. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem. I just
All right,
we'll
man.
talk and we'll get details and yeah, I got you.
Because I'm on you now, man. I'm
I
gonna
got.
get you. I'm gonna get you, man. I'm gonna get you. Because how long that's been? That's what I'm talking about. If it's that long, you can't think, okay, gotcha. But you excuse because you do
Yeah,
have 7 kids. I get it. I do get it.
yeah. I mean, I fight fires and I save kittens and stuff. Yeah, I do all types of stuff.
I'm sure you do.
I
Lord
save.
have mercy.
Yeah. I
I just don't
save.
know how to do it. You have to be real organized to have 7 kids. Well, you have to be organized to have 8 kids, let alone 7 of them.
Either that or
You know,
just don't pay no mind to them. One of the two. I'm not saying
They'll,
which one I do, but
they'll tear up the house. They'll tear up the house, won't they? That's crazy. So you got to go pick up the baby one, the baby.
actually, I got to pick the oldest.
Oh, I thought it was on summer break now because here is summer break. They got
No, not my oldest is he's in a program where he can go during the summer. That's the one with the autism.
oh, summer school. Yeah, the 17 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's
No, he's
good.
18.
He
Yeah,
just
he's
turned
18.
18.
18.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I did
Hmm.
see a post that you said it was
Yeah.
18.
I think he's
Wow.
able to keep going to his school to like 21 or something.
Oh yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
good.
yes.
Yes, yes,
Thank
yes, yes,
you.
yes.
Man.
So that's
Hold on.
pretty cool.
Somebody's got to tell on somebody real quick. What now?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's okay. Somebody telling
Why
on
don't you come
somebody.
over here and get on camera? Come over here and get on camera.
They never
Oh, yeah.
do.
It works every time.
They want to hide when you do that.
Uh,
Okay. Go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Matt,
Man,
I'm
boy.
gonna get on your panel tonight, Matt.
Okay.
Okay.
So what
Will
do you got
do.
going on tonight? My connection. Oh, it's not
Always
okay.
something
I got
crazy
you,
going on.
lovely. Okay. She said her connection is not working, and she said that she was going to get on it the next time. Okay,
Okay.
lovely. That'll be cool. So maybe next time we can just have a live stream, and we can come up here and just kick it. And anybody that want to talk to me, we're gonna just have ask yo, talk to yo. We just gonna kind of converse to one another. So anybody that want to come, just come on over here. The next time we have a live stream, and we just gonna kick it for a little bit. Okay, let's do
All
All
that.
right.
right. Give it
In
up
the
for
meantime,
Matt.
yes,
Bye,
in the
Matt.
meantime, between
That mean
time,
go. Bye
hey.
bye.
Oh, and I'm
Read between the
clapping good.
lines,
I'm
Negro.
clapping
Bye.
good. She said,
Damn.
nice show, Miss
All
Keisha.
right.
Get
Well,
that out.
it's good
Bye
seeing
bye.
you.
Yeah. Don't forget, baby. I'm gonna be talking to you. Okay, baby. Behave yourself. And take
No,
care of them babies. Don't be hurting them babies.
I'll take care of the babies, but I'm not behaving myself. All right. Later.
Okay, see you later, Matt. All right, Mo. Well, I think we had a good show. This was fun, and I
Mhm.
enjoyed talking to you guys and giving y'all some helpful information. Yeah, you can take the advice or not, but if you don't do it, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be down the road for you. It's gonna be problems and situations. I don't wish that on you, but I'm telling you that I've seen too many signs and symbols of stuff happening in relationships that go awry because they don't have understanding in the beginning. And I'm not just talking about that verbal understanding. I'm talking about having it in writing where they have a contract, and then you'll have a better time in having a successful relationship. And don't be scared to open your mouth and tell the man what you want, and woman, don't be scared to tell them vice versa. Say what's on your mind, say what you want, speak to a person lovingly, and make time for one another. Where you at work, come home and y'all make time with each other at lunch breaks. Y'all get that time in with each other. If you ain't doing it but sitting on the sofa holding each other's hands or looking into each other's eyes, do what you got to do to make it work. All right. There's nothing like a happy family and love, peace in the valley. Okay? All right, Mo. I'm gonna talk to you later. Thanks
All
everybody in the
right.
chat for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having me.
Lovelace. You're
And
welcome. I'll see
thanks
y'all the next
everybody in
time.
the chat. Bye,
Thank you
Michelle.
guys. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace, everybody. I gotta take the pooches out. They ready to go for their walk. I enjoyed talking to y'all. All right, bye-bye. Gotta go. Let's go, baby.